Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your Saturday morning to meet with us here as we go over what we call our quick start training. My name is Mario Delgadillo. I'm one of the leaders here with the team. Just take a few minutes since I know that you are new to the team. Maybe it's just a couple days or a couple of weeks, and I want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to hear my story or at least know who I am. And my background's pretty simple, guys. That's my beautiful family there. My wife and I, Stephanie, have been married for 15 years. We have 5 beautiful children, and my background is actually corporate education. I was a director of admissions at a couple of private universities here in the Southern California marketplace. 6-figure guy in my mid-20s, and just doing life. And what happened to me was about 10 years ago, I had a Tuesday morning meeting with my director and I got handed my walking papers. Guys, I was laid off simply because I was too expensive. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in that situation or even where you're at now, but when I took a look at the network marketing profession 10 years ago, I was just in a place of transition. I needed to make some money. I needed to put some food on the table while I was trying to figure out what my next career option was going to be. And it's just turned out to be a massive blessing for my wife and I. Fast forward 10 years, I've literally been flown all over the world. I've met people from all walks of life, just been blessed tremendously with friendship, with community, and financially as well. I've been a stay-at-home dad now for the last 5 years. And guys, we are just getting started with our company called Vasayo. When my wife and I got started with Vasayo just 10 months ago, it was because we were looking for something that we can plant our flag with. We were looking for something that we can have what we call a generational build, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, like some other companies that you may have heard of before, maybe Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, Avon, these companies that are multi-billion-dollar companies, but at one time they were at the very beginning because I wanted to be able to ride the wave for the rest of my life. And so we got started in 10 months. It's been awesome, guys. We have one of the fastest growing teams in the entire company. We've cleared over $300,000 in commissions in our first 10 months. More importantly, though, with the system I'm going to teach you this morning, we've actually gone out there and helped, I would say, over 50 people make anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000 in their first 30 days. Right now, that's some pretty fast success. And in Vasayo, you got to find a way to have fast success because it just expedites the long-term success of other people that are going to be coming in behind you. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And so with that being said, though, guys, I always want to start here because there's just some things that I wish I would have known when I first got started into the network marketing profession. And if you're just starting, I want to start here, right? Because I've heard it said that 80% of your success as a network marketer is going to come from your mindset. So we want to readjust the way you think. We want to readjust the way you look at things from the very beginning because most people have never been in this industry before or they've never had success in this industry before. I mean, right here, maybe you get it. You're like, you know what, we go out and we build a team of folks, and through those teams, all over the world, we can sell products, and by selling those products, that's how we earn a long-term income, but you've never really been able to put it together. So let's start with your mindset for success. So first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to treat this like a business, okay? So treat your business like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you're gonna get paid like a hobby. Actually, if you treat it like a hobby, most hobbies cost you money. A business makes you money. You see, that's the one thing that I want you to do, guys, is have the right expectations from the very beginning. Okay, understand that, yes, guys, this is a part-time business. This is something that you're going to do 5, 10, 15, 20 hours a week in the cracks of your day, on your lunch breaks, in the evenings, on the weekends. But when you dedicate the time to do your Vasayo business, actually do your Vasayo business. So I say be 100 on a part-time basis. I've also heard people say you should treat your business like you spent $150,000, not $1,500. Because if you have invested $150,000 into your business, there would be no quitting, right? You guys would literally do what it took. And I want you to have that same mindset. Now, the second thing I would tell you is become a student of personal development. Guys, I can tell you, and I don't want to scare you, but I want to share with you what is going to be necessary to be successful, guys. You've got to be you've got to be different, right? And so what do I mean? You guys want to have a different outcome. You want to be able to say, listen, I want to use this company as a vehicle to change my life, whether it's to pay off some debt, whether it's to send a child to private school, whether it's to eventually become your plan A, to make this business have more money than your current job. But so you're asking to go somewhere you've never been, then you've got to be somebody you've never been as well. And so you've got to personally develop in this industry. There's a number of great books that I always recommend for somebody who's brand new. One is called Go for No. The other is called Go Pro, Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. And there's another one called My First Year in Network Marketing. It's going to help condition your mindset. This is what I'll tell you guys. This is simple, but it's not easy. We're going to teach you a simple, duplicatable process, a system, but it's not easy. And the reason we say it's not easy, guys, is because we're dealing with people. And people have hangups, preconceived ideas. People have preconceived notions. They have prejudices. They have all this baggage that they bring to the table. And we're going to have to deal with that. And so this is a people business. It's a relationship building business, okay? And don't be married to the outcome. This is one of the things that I think most new people struggle with the most, is they're so wrapped up in what other people think. Guys, when my business as an entrepreneur really took it to the next level was when I finally decided that I play the game for me. I play this deal for my family and for myself, right? When I was so wrapped up in what other people thought, that's when I was just always on this roller coaster of emotions, right? Don't be married to the outcome. All right. So some people will join you. Some people won't join you. Some people will wait and want to watch you. Some people will, and so we always say some will, some won't, some wait. So what? Who's next? Right? Don't be married to the outcome. And then this will require some sacrifice, guys. Okay. And I want you to understand that. I was sharing with a gentleman just the other day when I got started in the profession, it was when I was laid off, right? But it's a part-time business. It didn't have enough income to support my family. So while I was still building this, I had to go get another job. And so when I was working when I really, really started sinking my teeth into building my network marketing business way back when, I was still working a full-time job. And so I would go to work full-time. I worked literally about an hour from my home. I lived out here in the Inland Empire in Southern California. I would drive about an hour into Whittier, California. I'd work a full-time job, and then I had meetings and home meetings every single night, right? And so then I would have Saturday trainings. See, we're so lucky that we only have a Saturday training on Saturday mornings where it's in our home on Zoom. Right? I've been in other networking companies where every Saturday you had to put a full-on suit on every day from 10 to about 1 o'clock, and that was their system. So I literally, guys, had absolute unbalance. It was completely flipped upside down for 3 years. Like this idea that I can build a multi-million-dollar business from my phone and it's going to be convenient is not necessarily something that I think you guys should really think is relevant or real. It will require some sacrifice, but here's what I will tell you guys. It's absolutely worth it. My wife and I, my family, we went through this upside down, unbalanced lifestyle for over 3 years. And then business started kicking. Things started coming together. And when it did, guys, it's been unbelievable. I mean, I can't tell you how amazing it feels to be able to be 100% in control of my life, right? Not having to go anywhere, not having to be anywhere at any particular time. Just to give you one example, when I was in corporate America, my wife and I, we weren't as close as we should because I was always gone. Right. And I was just always, my mind was preoccupied with something else. Every time I was home, I was in the laptop. Now, after going through this sacrifice, after paying the price, every day, Monday through Friday, this is what I do. I get up in the morning, I spend about an hour in personal development. I go upstairs and I get my kids ready for school because I want to do that because I was never able to do that with my older kids. I get them ready. Then I take them to school. I come back and my wife and I spend the first 2 hours of every day at the gym together, right? And the reason behind that is because I do have a lot of busyness. I have a lot of business that I have to build, but I've created a time every day, whether, like, let's say I get back, it's 10 a.m. and then the rest of the day I'm running, right? It doesn't matter, because at least I know I've spent at least 2 hours of quality time with my wife, which is the most important person in my life. And so, it's the freedom to be able to do what you want, but it will require sacrifice. But I promise you guys, if you're willing to go through that sacrifice, it will work out for you, okay? And here's the other thing. Don't chase people. It's so important that when you get started, you understand. Be a sorter. This is what the next one says. Be a sorter, not a seller, right? A sorter just sorts through, okay? Like we have let's say you had a stack of 52 cards, okay? You just got to go out there and find 4 aces, right? So we're going to go through the deck of cards, and it's okay if they say that's not for them. It's okay if they think that you're in a scam. It's okay if they think you're in a scheme. It's okay if they think you're in a cult, because you're going to find that ace. And when you do, then you're going to start, wow, this is what he's talking about. So guys, I give you permission to not chase people, okay? And I think when you have that mindset that, hey, listen, I don't chase people, it releases a burden from you. You don't have to sit there and worry about what other people think, or trying to really sit there and close people. Just go through the process that we're going to teach you today. And then finally, erase the quit option. I know life is life, okay? Some people have, had bad marriages. Some people have, had a lot of bad things happen to them. But I'll just share with you my own personal testimony. When my wife and I got married, the pastor who sat with us, he said, Mario, if the word divorce doesn't exist, then there will be no back door, right? Because if the word divorce exists, something can get bad enough that you'll take that option, you'll take that door. So we've just deleted that word. And there's been some very bad times in our marriage. There's been some very bad times in our life, but because that option wasn't there, we never took it. And I've always used that example that we had in our marriage in this business. Erase the quit option, guys. If you say to yourself, or if you're brand new right now and you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to see how this little thing works. I'm going to give it about a month. I'm going to give it about 90 days. You're going to fail already. Okay. We're not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to, sell the house. I'm not telling you to do any of that. What I'm telling you is to erase the quit option. Give yourself 3 years part-time in the cracks of your day, and give it honest effort. Right. But if you have it in your mind that you're going to just try this out, see if 1 or 2 of your friends want to buy it, or if 2 or 3 business owners, and if they're interested and if they click, then I'm going to jump on it. If they don't, I'm going to go somewhere else. Then you're pretty much giving yourself a recipe for disaster. Okay. So with that being said, why Vasayo and why now, guys? Well, the need for a secondary source of income is real. So I commend you. Okay, I really do commend you for taking this step and joining the team, because in my opinion, there's no better way to build a secondary source of income than with Vasayo and through the network marketing profession. Number one, Vasayo gives you first movers advantage. It's timing, right? If you're new to network marketing, or you've been in a ton of them, here's what I'll tell you. In 10 years, my experience will tell you that being at the top and being early is the most important thing that you can be. And you are here with Vasayo because our company is only 2 years old. So if you're just starting out and you've got a list of things that you're using, first of all, when it says I'm on top, mark a check mark, okay? Second thing is access to leadership. Guys, our leadership team is literally second to none in the entire industry, and they are so accessible and they are so willing to be there and help you and work with you. It's unbelievable. Think about this. This company will be a multi-billion-dollar business 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And you can say that as this business grows, you're going to have a unique access to people like Dallin Larson, to Daniel PQ. Imagine there will be people that join Vasayo 10 years from now, when there's hundreds and thousands of people on your specific downline, right? The company's done billions of dollars. We've opened all these different countries. And they're going to feel as if Dallin and Daniel are just unreachable, because that's just how big the company is. Maybe you felt that way before when you've joined other network marketing companies, but right now you have absolute access to leadership. The CBD boom, guys, you're only going to be at the beginning of CBD one time. That's it. Whether you decided to join Vasayo or not, whether you decided to, get involved in CBD or not, this is going to make thousands and thousands of millionaires, the CBD boom, and you have an opportunity to monetize that. You have the ability to build a part-time income from your phone, right? Think about this, guys. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, just in the network marketing industry, this little device here changed the way network marketing runs, right? I know guys that, they said, Mario, when I started network marketing, we literally had a flip chart, like a literal, remember those old pieces that, you know, had paper and they'd flip it and they'd write on it with markers? He's like, I used to have to set up a flip chart in somebody's room. I'd have to take a big easel, right? We used to take somebody's application. We used to have to fax it into corporate to get them signed up. Guys, now we have literally copy and paste at the touch of a finger. You can build a multi-billion-dollar, multi-international business. Low startup cost, okay? Always compare apples to apples. What's the other option? What's the other alternative? Starting a traditional business, guys. I've started traditional businesses. It's not cheap, right? Making money, you know, there's that old adage, it takes money to make money. You're darn right. But here with Vasayo, it doesn't cost you tons. Even if you bought the top package, it's $1,500. That's nothing, guys, in light of what you can earn. Low monthly overhead. Think about if you own any business. You've got to pay the light bill whether or not you make money or not. You've got to pay the electric bill. You've got to pay the internet. You've got to pay your merchant services. You've got to you've got to buy all your products that you're going to sell, whether you've ever made a sale or not. Here, you have a cost of buying your products on a monthly basis and you consume them. That's unbelievable. Leveraged income, residual income, you have the ability to make money when other people work, and you have the ability to make money in your sleep, which is a huge deal, and a system to leverage it. So that's what we're going to teach you today, okay? So the first step, and I encourage you, make sure that you have something out right now. Write down all of these steps with you. But number one, define your why. See, the most important thing you can understand is your why. You see, your why, guys, like I said, when you understand your why, it gets your mind right, okay? When you understand your why, it gets your mind right. So think about this. We've all been there before where we have a bill due on Friday or Monday, and we have no idea how we're going to find that money. Do you fold, or do you say, listen, I know the why. The why is to pay this bill, right? So I got to get my mind right, and I got to go figure out a way to make it happen. Right? And so we go into action. When you understand what your why is, it impacts your mindset, okay? And it'll help you survive the emotional roller coaster. The emotional roller coaster is real. And what is the emotional roller coaster? So typically, like right now, you just signed up, okay? So you're really excited, okay? And maybe some of you got home and your spouse or significant other said, what? You joined one of those pyramid things? And you're like this, oh no. And then you said, okay, I'm not going to listen to him or her. I'm just going to do my training. And so you get on the training call and then you go back up, right? And then you give a sample to your mom and she says, that stuff doesn't work. And then you go back down to here, right? I mean, literally, guys, the emotional roller coaster could be hour by hour, not even day by day. But the only thing that helps you to survive the emotional roller coaster is your why. You see, for me, I always knew deep down inside that I was better than what I was making in corporate, that I was better than being beholden to somebody else's schedule. And more importantly than anything else, I would be willing to do anything to be able to be with my family and my children. You know, I have 5 children, okay? My oldest is 21. And it felt like it went by so fast. I mean, boom. Any of you parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, guys, I have also a 13-year-old. I've got an 8-year-old. I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, right? Some of you are like, wow, that's too many kids. But you know what? Guess what, guys? Even though sometimes with a family with a bunch of kids, it can be crazy, I know there will be a time very soon where my home will be silent. And I'm going to look back and say, gosh, I wish that I could, you know, get mad at Levi for spilling cereal in the kitchen or stop jumping on the couch, right? And that was what motivated me to go through the craziness, to not listen to what other people thought about me, right? And so I put my why everywhere. I encourage you guys to write it down. I have it on sticky notes in my bathroom because every day I get up and I look and I see what gets me moving in the right direction, okay? Helps you to get into action, just like we talked about. When you know what your goal is, and you know that that why is so real and it's deep down inside of you, then it helps you to get your feet into action. It will determine how much time you invest into this as well. Listen, I'm a realist. I tell people this all the time. Everything in life is a value proposition, guys. So what do I mean by that? Some of you go to work full time and either get up before work or after work and go to the gym every single day, and some of you don't. Why? Because some of you see the value in that and some of you don't. Okay? Some of you guys go to church on Sunday and some of you don't, because some of you see the value in that and some of you don't. Guys, everything we do or don't do in life is based on the value that we assess, right? So I tell people all the time, when you understand what your why is, that's what is going to give you the ability to allot the appropriate time and invest that into this business. So step number one is define your why, guys. So I want you to hit pause and take 10 minutes and write out your why. It doesn't have to be a novel, and it shouldn't last longer than 10 minutes because your why will evolve over time. So go ahead and hit 10 minutes and we'll be right back. Awesome. Step number two, guys, is share the opportunity, okay? And now we're going to talk about this. Before we do, I want to address something. Many new people ask me, Mario, is it more important to get customers or build a team? The answer is get customers. But the system that we're going to teach you is a customer acquisition machine, okay? So I'm going to go through two different scenarios, okay? Number one, two ways to sell our products. Number one is you just go out there on an individual basis and talk to friends and family and say, hey, I've got a product. It's called V3. You know, you got to stop drinking coffee. It's not good for you. I'm going to bring you over a sample, and you give them some samples and sit down with them. And, you know, then they come back and say, man, I really like this stuff. How do I do it? And you sell them some product, okay? By doing that, okay, you're going to make a couple bucks. But what I want you to understand is if you only have, you're like, Mark, I love everything about Vasayo. I love everything about CBD, but I just want to sell the products, okay? I've only got 10 hours a week that I can dedicate to this. Think about this. If we're being practical, let's say you worked in El Monte, California, and you talked to your brother-in-law, and he lives in Corona, okay? From El Monte to Corona, usually about 45 minutes to an hour. You worked all day. Now you drive all the way out to Corona because he's got to test the product. You drive all the way out there, you sit with him, he tests the product, he likes the way he tastes it, but he says, you know what, I don't want to buy it, you know, until I've used it a couple of days. So you say, okay, here's a couple of samples, use it a couple of days, let me know what you think, okay? So you drive back out, now you're 2 hours in. Remember, you only got 10 hours a week. So you're 2 hours in, he calls you back 3 days later, says, all right, you know what, I love it, I'm going to buy it. Boom. You send him your link, he buys V3 from you, make a couple bucks. But you're already 2 hours in, excuse me, you're already 2 hours into your 10 hours of additional time spent. So this is going and selling product to people. Now, mind you guys, there is a place within our system for you to do that, but it's just not the primary way, okay? The reason behind that is because the time versus reward trade-off is very low, right? I'm gonna invest 2 hours worth of time to make $20, okay? That's not good. That means that you're assessing your time at 10 hours, $10 an hour, okay? No leverage. That means that you're the only one doing that. And that's the number one reason people come to network marketing is to gain leverage, right? If you're a parent, you've probably said to yourself at one time or another, man, I wish there was two of me. Like right now, I've got to take one of the cars to the shop as a dad. I've got to go out there and do some yard work. I'm working right now, and I want to spend time with the kids. There's four. I need to have four Marios right now on Saturday morning, right? So you know what that's like to need to like duplicate yourself as a parent, okay? But in your business, you want to duplicate yourself as well. But if you're doing it this way, you're the only one selling. You're the only one making money, okay? Now, most people want product on the spot, and that becomes expensive. Because if you go out and you share with them, they're going to say, awesome, here's my card. You know, how much does it cost? Oh, well, you know, we'll put it in and it comes in 5 days. And people are like, what? Like, oh, man, I thought I had it right now. So a lot of times people realize later that doing it this way is not always conducive because then I have to have a bunch of stock with me. And I have to stock product. So that means even more initial investment up front, okay? Now, the second way And this is, according to our system, is building distribution. So what we're going to do is we're going to help you go out there, and I want to help you to find 2 people to join your team to build this business, okay? But I want you to think of these 3 dots as well as online stores, okay? Well, first, let's back it up. Let's say that is a Starbucks. Or you could insert that as a real estate broker. You could insert that as an insurance broker. Now that real estate broker, insurance broker, or Starbucks brings on 2 new people onto their team or opens up 2 new stores. Now, in that little tri-pack there, are they going to sell more products, sell more homes, sell more insurance plans? Yes, because there's 3 times the amount of them, right? So in your first 2 weeks, your first week, we're going to help you to become star. 1 on your right, 1 on your left. You're taking notes. Write down star means 1 on my right and 1 on my left. Okay. Now in your next week, I'm going to help the 1 on your left become a star, and we're going to help the 1 on your right become a star. Okay. So now look at how many online stores, right? Real estate agents, insurance agents, or retail stores you have underneath your distribution team. So week 3, we do the same. You see how? Look at that, guys. This is awesome. Let's say this happens in week 4, and your team in 1 month looks like this. So in 1 month, you could have 19 people on your team, including yourself, okay? That would be, check this out. If all of those people in month 1 went out and in month 2 sold $1,000 worth of product. How do we sell $1,000 worth of product? Well, guys, how we do that is with our big packages, right? So you go out there and you talk to people about building a business. If everyone on your team sold $1,000 in product, including yourself, that's $20,000 in sales in 1 month, okay? And that's in your 2nd month. So you're selling more product by building distribution. And I wanted to just put this out there. Guys, look, you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the shed. Obviously, these aren't the greatest graphics in the world, okay? But this is, to me, it made sense. I said, listen, I can open 19 different Starbucks all over Southern California, and I'm going to win because I'm selling more coffee. Not because I recruited people. Recruiting people means nothing if they're not selling product. So the end goal is this. Everything we do is about selling products, but we just do it by building distribution, right? But let me tell you how awesome this is. Because when you build distribution, when you go back to this, you are still putting 10 hours a week, 15 hours worth of work into your business, which is what you said you were going to do at the very beginning. But so are all of these people, which is so incredible. Think about this, guys. What if you had 19 people on your team all putting in 10 hours of work? Guys, that's 190 hours worth of man and woman power all over the nation that are going out and selling products, and you are still putting in 10 to 15, right? That is the power of leverage, and that is why our system is so awesome, because we're getting this phenomenal product into the hands and into the bodies of more people on a more efficient basis, okay? So now let's get started into what you should be doing right now. First things I want you to do is write a list of at least 30 names, okay? Now, start with business owners, people that you know have already owned a business now or have owned a business in the past, because business owners think differently. Business owners know right off the top, it takes money to make money. Business owners are always looking for different ways to leverage income, to learn residual income. They're always open to hear you out. Second thing is 6-figure earners. To earn 6 figures in corporate America, you have to have a different mentality. And so there's certain things that your brain thinks in a different way to be able to achieve that. And part of that is being more business savvy. So they're usually a little bit more open-minded. Network marketers. Here's what I'll tell you guys. People who are network marketers are usually very open. They're usually entrepreneurial. They believe in diversified income. And so when they see what we have, they're going to be like, wow, CBD, early in the game, it's a brand new company. I'm in, right? Entrepreneurs. Guys, and there's no shortage of entrepreneurs right now, guys. We're in the age of entrepreneurism. Now, fitness people, right? Because fitness people, whether they're trainers or athletes, they're always looking to take care of their body. Nutrition is very important to them, as well as CBD. They're hearing it all over the place. So people that you know are very important, are focused on fitness, trainers, real estate professionals. Here's what I'll tell you. Real estate is a very lucrative business, but it has very high peaks and very low valleys. So people who are in real estate are used to this, and they're always looking for something on the side to supplement while they're surviving the ups and downs, because they love real estate, but they'll be the first to tell you, man, real estate's an up and down market. And so I've got to always diversify. Okay. So with that being said, the next is happy people. Here's what I'll tell you guys. Happy people draw people to them. People who are always fun-loving, people are always very energetic, people gravitate towards them, right? And those are the type of people that you want on your team. And then everybody else, right? Chiropractors is another one. We have a lot of chiropractors in our team because it goes hand in hand with what they do on a daily basis and everybody else. Because I always say every stud knows a dud, but at the same time, every dud knows a stud. And there's also people out there, guys, that are just hungry. Maybe they don't fit into any one of these categories. Maybe they're just like Mark Ewell, who's a Royal Black Diamond with our company. He was a bellman in Carlsbad, California, a bellman. He would literally take your bags to your room. But he was just hungry. He was looking for something. Someone shared with him how to change his life, leveraging network marketing, and he's gone on to make over $30 million in his career, okay? So now let's talk about the approach. Our approach, let's keep it simple, okay? And this is, again, one of those areas where people that are new get in trouble. Keep it simple. Why? Because I don't want to have an approach that requires me or you or any one of you to have sales background, experience, education, formalized training. It's just got to be something simple, whether you're a six-figure corporate executive, a stay-at-home mom, a college kid, right? Or somebody who's a construction worker. It doesn't matter. It's just got to be simple. Say less to more people. Guys, it's just a numbers game. When I talk about being a sorter, I always think about an example I saw a long time ago. So I have a 6-year-old son. His name is Levi. If we had a room full of people and I said, Levi, you've got 2 minutes, okay? Somebody in this room has a Nintendo Switch. You don't know where it's at. It might be in their bag. It might be in their coat pocket. It might be sitting on it. Somebody in this room has a Nintendo Switch. If you can find out who that person is, right, you can have it. But you only have 1 minute. Go. He's going to run. Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Yeah. He's just going to go. He's not going to care what your answer is. It's just, is it yes? All he's searching for is a yes. Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? And that's what we say. What do you think about CBD? What are your thoughts on CBD? You just keep going. You're not worrying about the no's. You're not worrying about opinions. You're just searching for a yes fast. Okay. So let us do the selling. Let us do the pitching. Let us do the educating. See, that's our job. And I'm going to share with you guys how that works in just a second, okay? So now the next is be a fisherman. As a fisherman, what you do is you put the bait on the line and you throw it in the water. Now, if you think about it, if you've ever been fishing, right, you have to throw the bait in the water a good 10, 15, 20 plus times before you're going to get a bite. And sometimes even when you get a bite, you lose it, right? Sometimes you bite, you start pulling it, you fight it, and it's gone. Sometimes you pull it in, you bring it into the boat, and then it jumps out, right? You just got to understand that if you're a fisherman and you throw the line in the water 30 times to get one catch, are you mad at the other 29? No, you just understand that that's part of the process. So don't get upset when you're just throwing out there. The best part is, though, guys, the bait that we put on the line, okay, is CBD. It's the most marketable bait that you could ever find, right? If you've ever been fishing, you see one guy just keeps pulling them out of the water over and over. You know what everybody's thinking? What the heck's that guy using as bait, right? That's what we have here with CBD. Then be a bridge builder. So once you get them to bite, don't send them links, don't send them emails, don't send them product. Just get them on the phone, bridge that, be the bridge builder to us as your upline leaders. I'm going to share with you how that works in just a sec. And don't prejudge, okay? That's one of the other things that brand new people do is they prejudge people all the time. they'll say, oh man, that's my friend Mario. No, man, he makes too much money. He's always, doing this. He's always golfing. He's not going to be open. He's not going to be interested. I'm going to briefly share with you guys. At 29 years old, I was making just under 195,000 a year. Okay. That's a lot of money for a 28, 29-year-old. We owned a bigger home than I have even now in Eastville, driving a BMW. My wife was a stay-at-home mom, and I was golfing every Friday. Why? Because I had a boss that said, Mario, if you hit your marks by Wednesday or Thursday, I don't even care to see you till Monday. So I wanted to hit my marks every week fast, and every Friday I was golfing. So if you would have known me, my outward appearance is that, man, Mario and Steph are killing it. I'm not going to hit him up because he doesn't need the money. What you didn't know is that 6 months before I got laid off, I was told that I was getting laid off. I didn't go shout it from the mountaintops. I didn't put a post on it on Facebook. I literally was praying every night. My wife and I were like, man, what am I going to do? Because guess what? There's not many 28, 29-year-olds making just under 200 grand. So I was worried. I was scared. If you would have thrown that bait at me, I would have bit. And maybe you would have had me on your team. You see, don't prejudge your people. Just throw the bait in the water, and if they bite, they bite. If they don't, they don't. And it's okay because we have the mind of a sorter. And Recruit Up, always talk to people that you are nervous to talk to, right? The person that even when you're going and you're like scrolling through your phone and you're like, oh man, Dr. Montgomery, and you get a little stomach ache, you're like, I'm not calling him. Are you kidding? That's the exact person you should go to. I've watched Ricky and Francois Untermeyer, our upline Black Diamonds, go out there and just bring in just beast after beast after beast and build the fastest and biggest team in the entire company because they have no problem recruiting up. They have no problem talking to people who, might be, for us normal people like, oh, a doctor or a lawyer or somebody who we're nervous to talk to. They go and they recruit up all day, every day, and they have just absolutely killed it every step of the way, okay? So now let's talk about our texting script. I prefer text when you're reaching out to people because what it does is it allows you to kind of stay at arm's distance. If you get on the phone with somebody, you're going to get pulled in and you're going to start giving too much information too early. Now, there's a process. If you're in real estate, they call it talk tracks. Any type of sales that you're in, there's a process by which we're giving people the information and bringing them along the way, okay? So first things first, if you're taking notes, once I get through this, take a picture of the screen. You could also ask your upline to send you this text script so you could just save it on your phone. So number one, hey, Joe, hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts on CBD? Okay. Now time out. Does Joe feel recruited? No. Does Joe feel sold? No. Does Joe feel pitched? No. He feels that his buddy Mario is just asking him what he thinks about CBD. Here's what we know, guys. 7 out of 10 people already love CBD. Okay. And everybody knows somebody who has at least one good personal testimony with CBD. So chances are Joe's going to respond back to me positively. So here's my second response. Oh my gosh, awesome. Hey brother, when can we jump on a call? I just got involved with the pre-launch CBD product. It's got a patent and they're offering a revenue share option. I can break down all the details, right? He's going to say, man, yeah, shoot, 2 o'clock. Let's talk tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Awesome. Book the call, right? So this is the pitch. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit more about logistics in a second, but this is how we approach people. Now, here's where people go wrong, I think. So you go through the first 2 steps and then they say, send me an email. Yeah, that sounds good, bro. Send me an email. Okay, time out. Do not send them an email. Do not start sending them and throwing a bunch of emails and videos and texts and literature at them. Here's what you do. Hold posture, stand firm and say, because CBD is so competitive and we're offering a revenue share of 5%, the first step is a call. If you determine this is a fit, we can send you tons of info. So what that means, guys, and what that does is this. It allows you to stand tall, but you still direct the conversation. Think about this. It's kind of like if you've applied for a job before and you send in your resume and they call you and say, hey, Mario, we like everything about you. We'd like to set up a phone interview with you. Are you going to say, oh, no, that's not going to work. I prefer to come in person? And they're going to be like, yeah, that's not how this works. You have to have that same posture, okay? Because people follow strength, not weakness. So have that same posture. Now, the second is this. Here's another one. What's the name of the company? It's called CBD One. It's really new, so there's not a lot of information out yet. But when we get on the call, I'll get you all the details. Does 2 o'clock tomorrow work still? How much does it cost? It's free to jump on a call, LOL. There are actually a number of different prices to get partnered up depending on how involved you want to be in the launch, but we'll go over that on the call, okay? See how cool that is, guys? Have posture. Now, once they say, all right, yeah, cool, 2 o'clock works. Number one, once you and the prospect agree on a time that works for you both, book it. What I don't want you guys to do is get caught in the middle like, okay, Joe, does 2 o'clock work for you? Yeah, 2 o'clock works for me. Okay, well, let me call my partner and see if it works for him. Hey, Mario, I have a friend. He wants to talk at 2. Does that work for you? No, just book it. Because what we do, guys, is we have set up when you get started, right? This video is in this text group in a diamond text, okay? So when you get started, you have a diamond text. That's a group of people. They're all your uplines that are there to support you, okay? That's where this training was placed, just so you can make a reference. You're going to go back to that diamond text, and you're going to request, hey, guys, I have a friend named Joe. He would like to learn about the opportunity tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Who can help? Now, myself, Ricky and Francoise, Tanya, some of the upline people that have all been trained, we're all there. We'll see it, and we'll jump on it. If I'm available, I'll say, I got it. If somebody else is available, they'll say, I got it, right? And so it's important, guys, that you put it in there. And that just gives you the ability to have 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are always there ready to support you, okay? Now, at the time of the call, this is very important. At the time of the call, send them the liposomal video and then call the assigned upline. Okay, this is really important. So if you haven't already, okay, you're going to download what's called the Vasayo app. Okay, now we'll get to that in just a second, but it's on Google Play or it's on the App Store. The Vasayo app, you're going to use your login and password that you received when you got signed up, and there's a video in there called liposomal video. Okay, copy that and paste it over. So you're going to pick up the phone at 2 o'clock. Hey, Joe, how's it going, brother? Hey, good, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to shoot you a quick video. It's about 2 minutes. It's the X factor behind our product. Hold on one sec. Copy, paste, send it out, okay? So with that being said, what happens is they watch that 2-minute video. Then they're like, cool, I watched it. Awesome. Let me bring on my partner. This gentleman is the one that's actually kind of like leading expansion in this project all over the West Coast. Hold on one sec. Bam, call Mario. Hey, Mario, are you available? Awesome. Okay, I have my buddy Joe on the line. I'm going to connect the calls. Perfect. Connect. Joe, are you there? Yes. Mario, are you there? Yes. Awesome. Real quick, guys, I just want to formally introduce you really quickly. Mario, this is my buddy Joe. We went to high school together. He's one of my best friends. His background is in real estate. He's pretty open-minded. He's pretty eager to hear about our project. Joe, this is my business partner, Mario. And by the way, guys, when that person says, I will take your call, you can ask them, can you give me your edification? Right? Give me your statistics. So this is Mario. He comes from a corporate background, 6-figure earner. He's been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. He's made over 7 figures. But with our project here, in his first 10 months, he's made over 300,000. He's got the fastest growing distribution team in the company. And I'm just really excited that he was able to take a few minutes to share with us. Okay. Mario, meet Joe. Joe, meet Mario. Then you step back, hit mute, and don't say a word. Okay. Let your upline do the work. So do a brief introduction, edify your upline, mute your line, and don't interrupt, okay? Now, after the call, what happens, okay? People are going to be in one of 3 places after this call. Number 1, they'll join on the spot. Guys, I promise you, it happens all the time. Number 2, okay, they'll want more information. This is when we send them some information and we invite them to one of our testing meetings, you know, those home meetings that we have. After somebody's been on a call, that's when we invite them to one of those testing meetings when they're in place number 2. They're like, Mario, I really like it. I do. I'm not ready to join on the spot, but I'd like to learn more, right? Mario, myself, I'm going to say, hey, listen, Joe, I'm going to ask Mary to put us on a 3-way text. We're going to send you some more information, and why don't you come out to the testing event in Whittier on Monday night? You'll learn the products. You'll get some samples. You'll be able to see the full business model. Now, Joe's going to be more likely to show up at that testing event after he's been on a phone call. Then place number 3, they're just going to want to become a customer, but that's okay. It's a win-win. Remember, I told you there's a place for us to go out and sell products? This is it. You see, after they've been on the call, and they decide, no, the business side is not for me, you are going to run into people that say, but my dad doesn't sleep. My wife has chronic back pain. I'd like to just buy it. Can I do so? Yeah. Mary, why don't you go on over to Joe's, take him some product. He can buy it. Good to go. So we do sell it after we've given them the opportunity, okay? But you should not be having those conversations. You see, when I have new people who join and I say, hey, how's your texting going, right? And they say, all my people just want to buy it, right? Then you're doing it wrong. Because if you reflect back to the very beginning of the texting, it's, hey, what do you know about CBD? When can you get on a phone call? I just helped launch a CBD. It's got a rev share and a patent. I can get you all the details. If at that point you're going too far, that's when you're going to hear them say, nah, I'd rather just buy it. You should never be having a conversation with somebody that before they talk to one of your uplines where somebody is saying, oh, I just want to be a customer. If you're getting people saying they just want to be a customer, then use that as a test, like a little light bulb pops off. Uh-oh, I might be saying too much. Contact your upline and have a quick conversation before you go back and start talking to more prospects, okay? Always set up a three-way follow-up text and your prospect and your upline, the person who took the call, and your upline will help direct the follow-up, okay? So let's set up some goals. Within the next 48 hours, okay, because success loves speed, we want you to send out 30 individual texts or calls. We're going to get you 15. That would get you about 15 connect calls. So send out 30 texts, okay? It's going to set up 15 connect calls, right? Hey, where you're getting somebody on the phone with your upline. You get 15 connect calls, you're going to get about 3 people to join your team. And remember, there's 15 people who spoke on the phone. Some of them will say no to everything. Some of them are going to join, that's the 3, but the rest of them will be your customers. You see where that comes in? Now, big action or big goals require big action, okay? So you have to get into gear fast. You can't, dip your toe in. So once you do this, don't overthink, don't do other things. Just sit there and say, hey, I got to send out 30 texts. That's the secret, okay? Step number 3 is stay plugged in. It's very important, guys, that make sure that you've been added and welcomed to our Facebook group. If you haven't, write that down and talk to the person who introduced you to the team and have them introduce you and welcome you to our Facebook group. Download WhatsApp and send your upline a message there. WhatsApp is an application, okay, that we use as a chat, like an information stream. So that's where we'll find out where all our trainings are, where our local meetings are, any updates, things of that nature. Download the Zoom app. The Zoom app is what we do a lot of trainings on. Okay, it's what this is actually recorded on. We have a Zoom training every Tuesday and every Saturday morning that you can log in and have ongoing training and help. These are live trainings. Download Vasayo app, just like I talked about. You can get it on the Google Play store or on the App Store on iPhone. And same login and password that you use for your back office. That's going to have your Vasayo app is going to have all kinds of videos, PDFs, tons of information, trainings that the company does for you guys. That's probably like $100 value a month, and the company gives it to you for free. Attend all weekly trainings on Zoom, okay? The more information you can learn, the better, especially at the very beginning. Attend at least a minimum of 1 testing event a week. They're all throughout the Southern California marketplace and all throughout the nation. So you can always stay in touch and know when these meetings are on your WhatsApp. Now, final thoughts are this, guys. Keep it simple, okay? Keep it simple, have fun, and be excited, okay? That's one thing that I tell people. I've seen so many people come into Vasayo, and they were just so elated. They were just so excited and say, so what do you know about what we've got going on so far? I don't know. I just see Mario's. He's just freaked out. He's so dang excited, and I don't really see him like this very often, so I just want to listen, right? You'll get more with just being excited and being motivated and having fun, right? Because people want to come and people want to be attracted to that. Leverage the system and your leaders. Your job at the beginning is to say less to more people. Your job at the beginning is to let us do all the heavy lifting for you, okay? If you find yourself having conversations, if you find yourself going out and having coffees, if you find yourself doing too much on the front end, you're doing it wrong, okay? Let us do the work for you. Get yourself out of the way. Okay, because if your business is reliant upon you, it will never duplicate. And duplication is where freedom is born. okay? Some will, some won't, some wait, so what? Who's next? Remember, the mind of a sorter. We don't chase. We understand what we have. And this is what I've always thought about when I looked at my Vasayo business. I know every person in my community, in my state. Every person deals with something physical in nature, whether it's mentally or physically, that CBD can help them with. Even if they don't, there's so many proactive cancer-fighting properties within CBD that I know and I feel in my heart of hearts that every single person needs this product. The product doesn't need them, they need the product. So number one, I have posture. Number two, I know that every single person in my community, okay, needs diversified income, needs a second source of income. Listen, I live in Southern California. In Southern California, the inflation rate is 11%. Even if you worked a full-time job and you got a 5%, 6% increase every year, which doesn't happen, you're still falling behind 5 to 6% every single year. And that's why every single person that we know, every single person that you know, including yourself, without Vasayo, is on track to work until you die, because Social Security is not going to cover it. Inflation is going through the roof. Your job is not going to cut it. You have to have a secondary source of income. So if I know that every person I know needs this product and every person I know needs a secondary opportunity, I have enough posture and confidence to not chase people and to just say, okay, no worries, I'll find enough. There's so many people out there that need this product, okay, and this opportunity. Don't get caught up in the weeds. Listen, guys, you notice we didn't go over the compensation plan today. There's another training for that down the road. You notice that we didn't go over all of the key ingredients in every single product. We'll go over that later. You notice I didn't go and teach you how to navigate through all of your back office right now. There's other trainings for that later. The most important thing you can do right now is get into action. Let's get you one on your right, one on your left, and teach them to do the same. That's the most important thing you need to do right now, because I am on a mission to go out there and help as many people as possible to start building a significant business, right? And we'll learn about all those other things, the comp plan. We'll learn about how to navigate your back office. We'll learn about all your resources. Listen, the comp plan doesn't matter if you don't have one on your right and one on your left. Does that make sense? Right? And so we're going to teach you all of those things in due time. Let's get through elementary school before we go to college, right? Let's get through elementary school before we go to junior high, before we go to high school, before we go to college. Elementary school is let's get one on your right, one on your left, and we keep duplicating that out, okay? So with that being said, thank you guys so much. God bless you. I look forward to locking arms with you, helping you to build a significant business, lay a solid foundation so that 3, 4, 5 years from now, you can look back and say, I really, really did take advantage of everything that Dallin and Daniel and Carrie and Dan Zhu put me. Those are our founders, put us in a position to win with Vasayo. And this time next year, your life can look completely different. We've already got people in our first 10 months that have made 6 figures in their first year, under their first year. We've got people that are buying a new car. We've got people that have taken free trips. We've got people that are making $3,000 a month part-time. Just those type of things right now in one